Hello everyone, today we will be learning about pins in chess and how to use them to your advantage. In chess, a pin is a tactic you can use to restrict one of your opponent's pieces. When you pin your opponent's piece, that piece cannot move because it is either illegal or a bad move that loses material. Take this position for example. In this position, the black knight on c6 is currently pinned by white's b5 bishop. The black knight on c6 is pinned because it cannot move, as moving it would put the black king under attack by the bishop. Therefore, the b5 bishop pins and restricts black's c6 knight. There is also another pin on the board. White's bishop on g5 is pinning and therefore restricting black's knight on f6. Unlike the knight on c6, if the knight on f6 moves, it is a legal move. However, the knight on f6 is still considered pinned because the knight on f6 blocks the attack of a more valuable piece, in this case, the queen on d8. If the knight on f6 were to move, white's bishop would be attacking black's queen, and white would be able to take black's queen and win a lot of material. If you remember back to our piece value and counting video, that would be 5 points to be exact. Let's try some puzzles to make sure we understand what pins are. In this position, are there any pinned pieces? Pause the video and I will reveal the solution in 3 seconds. Here, there are 2 pinned pieces, the knight on d5 and the knight on e6. Black's knight on d5 is currently being pinned by white's queen on h1. Right now, the d5 knight is blocking the white queen from attacking black's king on b7. Therefore, black's knight on d5 cannot move right now because moving would be an illegal move. Therefore, black's d5 knight is currently pinned and restricted. So, how about the knight on e6? The e6 knight is currently pinned by white's e1 rook, as the knight is currently blocking the rook's attack on the queen on e7. If the black knight were to move, black would lose a whole queen. So the e6 knight is currently being pinned. In this next puzzle, try to find out what pieces are currently pinned. Pause the video and I will reveal the solution in 3 seconds. Here, there is only one piece that is pinned, the black knight on f6 by white's b2 bishop. Since black's knight is blocking an attack from white's bishop to black's g7 king, as you can see by the arrow, black's knight is pinned and cannot move. You might think that black's bishop on e4 is currently being pinned. While it is true that black's e4 bishop is blocking white's rook on e1 from attacking the bishop on e7, this is not a pin because black can move the e4 bishop without losing material. Remember, a pin only occurs when a piece can't move because it is either illegal or will lose a lot of material. So since black can move the e4 bishop without losing any material, it is not currently being pinned. Now that we understand what pins are, why are they important? A pin is important because when we spot a pin, we should immediately think how we are able to attack it. Since the pinned piece cannot move, it makes an easy target, and oftentimes this can lead to an advantage for us. Let's learn through this demonstration. Here, white's bishop on b5 is currently pinning black's knight on c6, since moving the knight would expose the black king to an attack from the bishop. Whenever we see a pin, we should think how we can attack it. In this case, since the c6 knight is pinned, we need to try to use our pieces to attack the c6 square. We can do this by moving our knight from f3 to d4. Now, white has 2 attackers on the pinned knight, while black only has 1 defender, the bishop on b7. Since we have more attackers and are therefore threatening to take the knight for free on the next move, Black must protect his knight, and the only way to do this is moving the queen to d7. Once again, the black knight on c6 is pinned by the bishop on b5, but this time, black can move the knight. However, the knight is still pinned because moving the knight would expose the queen on d7 to an attack from the bishop, and that would lose black a lot of material, so black cannot move the knight right now. Since the knight is still pinned, we should once again think how we can attack the pin. We can do this by moving our queen to c3. Now we have 3 attackers on the knight: the queen, the knight, and the bishop, while black only has 2 pieces defending the knight: the bishop on b7 and the queen on d7. Since we have more attackers, next move we can win the knight for free, since black can no longer defend the knight anymore. You can see how powerful pins are and attacking pins are, as we can continuously attack the restricted pin piece, and oftentimes we can win material by doing so. Let's try some puzzles to make sure we understand how to attack pins. Here, where should white move? Pause the video and I will reveal the solution in 3 seconds. Here, white's bishop on g5 is pinning and restricting black's knight on f6, since if the knight moves, the black queen will come under attack, and white will win it for free. Remember, when we have a pin, we should try to think of how to attack it. To do this, we can move our knight from c3 to d5, which attacks the f6 square. This is a good move, and since black can't defend his knight, on the next move, we can double his pawns. So say, if black moves anywhere, so if he develops his bishop, the next move we can take the knight and force black to double his pawns, which gives us an advantage. Let's try this next puzzle. In this position, where should white move? Pause the video and I'll reveal the solution in 3 seconds. Here, white's a4 rook is pinning black's e4 knight to the queen on h4. Since the black knight can't move, or will put black's queen under attack, and white will be able to win it for free. Since we have a pin, we should try to attack it. The best way we can do this is by moving our pawn from d2 to d3. Since the e4 knight can't move, wherever black goes, so for example, if he moves his rook, we are able to take the knight with our pawn. If you remember back from counting, a knight is worth 3 points and a pawn is only worth 1 point. So after exploiting and attacking the pin, white has won 2 points for free. In this final example, how should white proceed? Pause the video and I'll reveal the solution in 3 seconds. Here, there is currently no pin on the board, but white is able to create one by moving his queen to e2. Black can't move his knight because it will expose his king to an attack from white's queen. So the knight is currently pinned and can't move. Black must protect the knight by moving his pawn from d7 to d5, protecting the knight. Since we have a pin now, we should immediately think how we should attack it. So the only logical way to proceed is by moving our pawn to f3, which attacks the e4 square. Since the knight is pinned, it can't move, so it can't escape from danger. And on the next move, we can win the black knight for free and gain an advantage. So if black, for example, develops his bishop, we can take the knight, and in this position, we have captured the knight for a pawn, so we have won 2 points for free. Congratulations on solving these puzzles. To recap our lesson today, a pin occurs when an opponent's piece is restricted because moving that piece would either be illegal or lose material. Pins can be used to our advantage because a pinned piece can't move, so attacking a pin can often result in us overwhelming and winning that piece. That is all. Thank you all for watching.